There's your moment of silence for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2025 season. Fucking bullshit. Straight fucking bullshit. This was supposed to be your home stretch. This was your game against fucking Mickey Mouse teams that can't win fucking football games, and you're supposed to take them and beat them over the head with a figurative fucking sledgehammer. That has not fucking happened. What's happened is, and we made excuses for you. Oh, he's going against bona fide winners. He's going up against playoff level teams. Yeah, cool. We can leave. We can take that medicine. We're injured. I don't want to fucking hear about no damn injuries. This defense only realistically has one injury at the start of the game, and that's Kalijah Kancey. So your defense is strong, as poor as it's playing, is as good as it's meant to be, as it can be without Kalijah Kancey. That's it. This is what you chalked up on a board. Offensively, yeah, they've got issues. You can see that they had issues today. Baker was sacked a lot. Interior offensive line was poor. And that's understandable because of the injuries that are there. However, when you know you've got limitations that your players aren't going to be able to make as many plays, then you need to be smarter on the defensive side of the football, that you can't just be coughing up yards left, right, center. The amount of explosive plays that they had to keep them in the game. And we'll go on about the ones later on in the game anyway. I'm just going to put people's comments here because there's been some gentlemen commenting here before I even got on the thing. That's how upset Buccaneers fans are. Shakes my head. Fire Todd Bowles. Bullshit. Fire this guy. Bad play calling at the end of an offense on offense and defense. And you know what? Every single one of you is right. Bucs were 28 to 14 at one point. I can't believe this defense. Shit. And if you look at the player reactions on the sidelines, and that's been coming in the last couple of weeks, Bowles has lost the locker room. Not to the point they've gone rogue, but to the point they don't believe in him. They don't believe he's that coach anymore. It's time to change regardless. I don't care if we limp into the playoffs. That's not going to change. Like that guy's going to have to fucking get us to a divisional championship. He's got to get us to the NFC Championship game. At bare minimum to save his job right now. We just look so poor, and I think somebody with a bit more direction who can read. I don't think this Buccaneer team has got softer every year under Bowles. And I'm not saying it's the Super Bowl hangover because that fucking happened ages ago. That's 5 years in the making. Not. What I'd ask ourselves is, what we're going to do from here. Right, let's be realistic. Bowles isn't getting fired today. I seriously doubt that he would get fired today. However, he's got to walk the plank. We need some more direction. We need some more youth. The more and more I see coaches like Liam Cohen and Dave Canales doing, let's face it, they don't have our wide receiving core. They don't have our offensive line. They shouldn't have our defensive backfield, but our defensive backfield is being burnt to crisp because we keep putting them in fucking precarious positions by putting them 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's not the only reason. Lack of pass rush. When you have no pass rush and you can only blitz to generate sacks, Blitzing takes people out of coverage. That means your soft-ass zone has holes in it. So it's already got holes in it because it's soft-ass zone. It's got even more holes in it when you start blitzing people. Go for a few more comments. How do you lose to a team with this many penalties? Yeah, they had 19 penalties in the game. They cleaned them up towards their stints that they were in. However, we'll go further into that. At the same time, you're right. How do you lose to a team that's giving you freebie yards or giving your defense yards to fix mistakes? Do you think the Bucs should bring in competition for Baker next season? It depends on I do think we need to look for a backup that could knock on that door. Baker's having a down year, but he wasn't too big. He's had 2 really good years with us, right? The pick was huge. I'll go with Chris Cole with the pick. It was huge in a minute. However, what I will say is, since he's been with us, he has been good. You can't freak out over 1 year. You can't. However, you do need to bring a bona fide backup in just in case he gets injured. He might put a bit of heat on him. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is that guy. Evans might literally go to the demand and demand he Bowles be fired. Did you see him after the game? Yeah, he looked fuming. He literally walked straight out. He probably shook a couple of hands and fucked off. Levante David wasn't at his locker. This team doesn't want to lose. They've been in people players like your Levante Davids, like your Mike Evans, who've been in the team a very long time, who've been on the losing seasons, don't want to go back to that. Yeah, they've enjoyed that success. Going back to that hurts because they know what that was like, and then it's like, ugh, do I really want to go through another season? I would say you're more likely to see Mike Evans retire than demand people get fired. I think he might just go, I've had enough. I still think he's got something left in the tank. Let's go for a few more of these. The pick was huge. The pick was huge. Absolutely huge. It was a dumb fucking throw. I can't put that one on the coaches. That one's squarely on Baker's shoulders. Why would you not pick? He thought he was going to the slot. Okay. Then put it in a place that only Mike Evans can get it if you're that worried. See Evans upset? Yep. Bowles must be gone tomorrow. Look, I don't think this is reactionary, right? Nothing's going to change. We're not going to go from Bowles leaving to being a bona fide playoff team that's going to fucking kick the ass out of everyone. But I get how you're feeling. Imagine if Drake had played. 100%. You give them way more options. They got more options to go to. You couldn't deal with a tight end and a running back. Quite simply. You have a safety bracket him, so he only gets the ball underneath. And you have the slot receiver, the slot corner or in a nickel or the whatever, play him underneath. So one takes the top off, one plays the underneath. He will get his because he's a talented guy, but you will limit him to smaller plays. Not after how he played tonight. Might look great. It's great to see Mike Evans back and doing his thing. But we'll get into all of that in a minute. Baker just ain't it. Always the crucial turnover at the critical moments just killed us. I wouldn't say always, but I'd definitely say that was one of those critical ones, and especially in recent games for sure. We couldn't stop 4th and 14, but yes, it's, you know what I mean? That should be a slam dunk. If they run the ball, cool. We'll limit the run. No blitzing, man coverage, double up Pitts. I'm sick to my stomach with this team. As I said, this was supposed to be the home stretch that we go down and put whoopings on shitty teams. But we're not. We've lost 2 games at home. I don't even know how many games we've won at home this year. I don't know. We lost in prime time. We lost in creamsicle again. In the orange creamsicle, not the white creamsicle. We've won 2 games in those. This team isn't good. Defensively, we can't stop the run. We used to stop guys like Robinson, like your Saquon Barkleys, like your big name running backs and hold them to less than 100 yards, right? Now we're struggling to do that with like a running back by committee. Now we're struggling to do that by anyone. We'll get the stops here and the runs behind the line of scrimmage here and there, but it's not consistent anymore. That run defense is done. The whole thing needs to be looked at, and it needs a new coach to find out who's going to stay. I find in a lot of their zone coverage, they're spot dropping, so they just stare at quarterbacks. They haven't got a fucking clue where a receiving threat is. They haven't got a clue where a receiving threat is. People are fucking quarterback watching and ball watching, and trying to move to that position rather than keep an eye on a leveraged hip, go up the guy, look at the quarterback, make the play. You look at the you earn the right to look at the quarterback. I feel you, man. I feel you because I'm deflated. I knew as soon as I was hoping, and then when they got the penalty tacked on, and they fucked up on 3rd down. I was like, fucking here we go for 4th down and 14. I didn't fuck up on 3rd down, so it was 3rd and 20 fucking 8. They're like 14 yards, whatever, and we do it again. We can't close out close games. We're shit in the red zone. Absolutely shocking in the red zone. I had a heart attack when they decided to go for 2. Thank fuck we got it. We're not very good right now. Offensively, we're not very good. Right. We need a head coach who's going to bring a new structure in, a new offense in. Because this offensive play calling ain't it. The only thing I can credit Grizzard with is the fact that he attacked their weaker parts of their secondary and picked it apart to a degree. They're going to get theirs. They will. So this is how the game failed for me. Baker Mayfield interception. No drive stopper. We didn't stop their drive. We let them get back in. When we did get the ball back, and there's only a little bit of time left on the clock, and we made them go for their timeouts, we didn't burn enough off. We didn't. Those are the keys. Now, the Buccaneers had 2 fumbles that can be arguable to should the Buccaneers have got them. The issue is you couldn't really see, and you can't always see if there's not a clear recovery. They always go with the team that had the ball last. I thought the first one was generally ours. Oh, sorry, it's 5 a.m. in the UK, and we're now in a position where we get the ball back again, and it's not enough. It's not enough. So let's talk about some of these comments. This team again. Bowles should have blitzed at the 3rd down. I don't know. the thing is, they hadn't pressured him they haven't pressured him all that well in that game. They really haven't. Like, look at Kirk Cousins went 30 for 44, and they were blitzing occasionally. Yeah, they were blitzing. It wasn't working because the horses you have right now aren't equipped. Lavonte David's old, and it's showing. He will not be here next year. And I love that pieces. I love my favorite player on defense is Lavonte David. See him not performing the way he would normally perform. He's not poor. He's just not good either. He's just average, which I'd imagine for Lavonte David is horrible to be in. But the problem is we didn't address any of this. We addressed cornerbacks and all that other shit. Zion McCullum had a bad year this year. He's having a bad year this year. He had a great year last year, and we decided to draft 2 corners. Jamal Dean was up and down. Okay? Fair enough. We did not address the middle linebacker position at all. So now you're going to go into free agency. You have to pay one. You have to buy one. You have to draft one. Pass rusher. You probably can't afford to buy one because you got Baker into a contract. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'd rather check what a new Baker looks like with a new coaching staff than go for a complete we're not at full revamp yet. We're not at full build it back up from the ground up yet. New coaching staff. If they can't get anything out of Baker, then you have that discussion. Do they franchise tag him? I don't know. A lot of questions are going to be asked. Baker's not having his best year right now. He was in an MVP conversation and then has not been since the bye week. He's out of that conversation because in that bye week we've lost 5 games. We've won 1 game since the bye. Cardinals. Thank fuck I was there. Because I don't know if I could handle fucking this losing streak, not having us in the Buccaneers win a game in person. But that's not the point. That's a me thing. That's not a Bucs fan thing. I am just done with this mediocre bullshit. I want someone with... I heard something today that really made me smile and remind me of the old days. And there was somebody asking after the middle of the Chargers game what Bruce Arians felt about the Buccaneers. And he said, we haven't done a damn thing right. We suck. We're shit. We need to get fucking everything right. We can't stop this. We can't stop the run. Can't stop the pass. We just fucking sort our shit out. We're sorry. We're a sorry-ass team, and we need to sort our shit out. And I was like, fucking, where's that account? And I'm sure he went in there and said those things. I don't think Bowles preaches that kind of mentality. I don't think he has that thing in him. So let's have a quick look at the stats. Baker goes 19 for 34, 227, 2 touchdowns and 1 INT. Kirk Cousins goes 30 for 44, 373. So he's pretty much got 100 yards on top, along with an extra touchdown and no INTs. Bucky Irvin, 16 carries for 60 yards. Now, they did abandon the run game for a reason. They were getting success out of the pass at some point. This team's not good at adjusting, especially on offense. We're hopeless in the red zone. We went up against a team who struggled on third down, and the score was 29-28. Kyle Pitts was the leader for them, 11 receptions for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's go a little bit further into this. White had 1 touch for 20 yards. Would you not go back to him again? Whose girlfriend he fuck? Whose daughter he chat up or not? I don't get that. Weird. People have I'd say the one thing about Baker that I will agree with, or I am feeling right now, is his Houdini-esque escapability that he used to have. People have sussed it out. They've worked it out. because in the last 3 weeks, it's been non-existent. From Cardinals, and these are poor teams, remember, from Cardinals, Saints, Falcons, they figured it out. Is Houdini going up for big runs to extend first downs? Are not happening anymore. Ibuka 4 for 64. Jalen McMillan 2 for 38. Great to see him back. Kind of felt he should have got the touchdown, but I get it. His ass was definitely down before. He was definitely down before, barely. Godwin 4 for 20 and a touchdown. Bucky Irvin 1 for 11. Devin Colt 1 for 6 and the touchdown. Rashad White and 1 for 6. So Rashad White only had 2 touches. Tez Johnson 0 for 0. Here's your biggest talent stat guy. Hassan Reddick is the only person who got a touchdown. Forced fumbles. The Buccaneers had 3 forced fumbles, but only 1 fumble recovery. I'll tell you this. Fumbles ain't got a lot to do with coaching. They don't. I mean, they do. It does get coached, but it's not a lot to do with coaching. It's generally the players and their technique. You can coach technique, sure. I'm sure they do a fumble drill. Well, one would hope, right? But the Buccaneers right now have to figure some shit out. The ownership has got to go, is this the way forward? Because I don't think it is. I am embarrassed to say that Liam Cohen and Dave Canales are out head coaching Todd Bowles. Their quarterback in both teams isn't as good on paper, or in stats, or in wins, touchdowns. Hell, I'd even go down the route of saying their turnovers are around about the same, right? But yardage, touchdowns, wins, their turnovers are probably around about the same. That's the upward trend of Baker, right? Running backs, I'd say we do have equal to better running backs than they do. Wide receiving class, we have the best wide receiving class in arguably all of football. They've just not been healthy. And I'm not using that as an excuse, guys. I'm not using that as an excuse. Tight ends, tight ends aren't that great. I'm still waiting for K-Dot to have that moment where he gets like a 600 yard season with like 6 touchdowns. That's my expectation. Until you've done that, you know. So then I look at the defenses. We should be better than them. I think Carolina has better pass rush than us. And looking at today, it looks like Atlanta does. Our O-line's better than both of theirs, I believe. Our defensive backfield is probably okay. I'd say better than the Panthers, not as good as the Falcons, but then you look at today. Linebackers, sad to say that I think we're done. I think we've got to look in 2 new directions, and I think that's the problem. You've got mouths to feed, and you've also got to find a pass rusher, and you've got to find a middle linebacker, and you've got to find another middle linebacker at bare minimum. Offensively, you can decide to have a less offensive draft this year, depending on if anyone leaves. We'd probably grab a few backup linemen or a receiver or a skill player that really tickles your fancy. And I don't like talking about the draft in December. That means your season's done. And our season's not done, but it feels done. It feels done. So a couple of things on here, guys. So if the Buccaneers would have won this game and then won next week, we win the division, we're guaranteed in the playoffs. We will be the first team in NFC South history to lead the South and win the South. That means to gain the lead in the South and maintain the lead all the way to the end. That hasn't happened. The Carolina Panthers are now the leaders of the NFC South. Second, and this hasn't happened yet, this can still happen, we would be the only team in NFC South history to win 5 straight. That's what's on the line. Those are bragging rights, but I don't care if we win the division. I still think Bowles has to go. I'm done with it. I think we should go for an offensive-minded coach, young, who's hungry. Well, I say young as in it hasn't been in the NFL for decades or anything like that. Someone who's a bit of a mastermind, like a Ben Johnson, like a Liam Cohen was. Like some people would say Dave Canales. Some people take to the head coaching role really, really well. Some people don't. Bowles is a fantastic coordinator. But head coaching, I don't know. I don't believe. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's good either. I think he's average. He's an average head coach. Average head coach with an above average roster. That's what he is. Oh, sorry. An above average head coach with a good roster. There you go. That's my 2 cents worth. And on that note, guys, I've got to go and get some sleep because I've got work in the morning. No victory fucking Friday for us because we're going to cheat out of it. Referees made some weird calls here and there, but that's not the reason we lost the game. We lost the game because we sucked. That's it. But Monday, the aftermath. Check us out. Me and AJ will be breaking this down when we've probably let this game absorb into our souls a little bit more. And we've got a few more things. We've got our shit to say. Buccaneers have got a lot to do. I'm now at the point where I don't know if we can win the division. Because technically, the division's got harder. You see what I'm saying? Technically, with the way we are right now, Carolina is a better team than the 2 teams we just faced. And they're a division team. One of them are at home, one of them's away. Miami aren't playing shit football anymore. So that cakewalk schedule that you just had, those 3 games that you should have got 3 games out of, where you should be sitting at with 3 wins instead of just the 1. You should have 9 wins right now. You can afford to lose one of those games. Now you can't afford to lose any. Your playoffs have already started. You're already deep into the playoffs. You've just got to hope and fucking pray that Carolina shit the bed. And they're not against the Saints. I hope to God they do. But I don't think they will. Which means we'll be 7-7. And they'll have 1 more on us. It's time for change, guys. If they win, they will have 8 wins. Then we play them. We need to beat them. Pure and fucking simple. Luckily for them, they go to Seattle at some point. That ain't a fucking cakewalk at all. We got the easier game. We walk away with that win. Then it could be down to the wire on that last game. But I don't think that excuses Bowles. I think you have to go in a new direction. This team is on the cusp of what now? We've lost 2, so we've got 3 more games to go. The best we can be is a 10-win team. That's what we did last year. The year before that was a 9-win team. The year before that was an 8-win team. We need to see a relative jump in wins, and I don't want excuses anymore because that's all I'm being handled. Well, we had the Super Bowl receipts. Okay, I got it. I have the Super Bowl receipts. Okay, that was 5 years. That's almost 5 years ago. Then we had the injuries last year. Now we've got the injuries this year. Are we always going to be throwing a freaking bone every single year? I could understand it, but when guys are coming back like they did today, yeah, Tristan Wirfs is back. Mike Evans is back. Jalen McMillan is back. Yes, you're missing interior guards. Realistically, on offense, we were missing 2 interior guards. I'm not saying that that's the act. You should be able to beat a fucking 4-win team missing in 2 interior guards and a defensive lineman. You should. You absolutely should, because you've got all the skill set in the world. And on defense, everything's there. Everything that you had on paper is there. And we're not winning. We are hanging around with poor teams. And that's got to stop. And it stops with getting rid of Bowles. And I am a big Bowles fan. But I'm also a bigger Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. And I don't see what we're doing is trending in the right direction right now. We need to look and say, right, what's the better option? I'm not ready to flog off Baker yet. Not after one season. And he hasn't been poor. He's just had a few games. We haven't been good for a while on D. This has been season on season on season. This offense has bailed out that defense for the last few years. When we first came to town, it was that defense. In the Jameis Winston year, Bowles' first year as a coordinator, that defense kept us in games because of the turnovers, as best as it could. The offense was good too, was pretty explosive too. Second year, we're putting it all together. We end up going to the Super Bowl and figuring it out. That's fucking awesome. The next year, we are fucking juggernauts. The following year, the defense is so fucking good, the offense doesn't need to score too many points. We just need to triculate the ball and kill time and score points when we have to. The following year, defense takes a step back. Offense is pretty good. The Dave Canales year. Then we had the Liam Cohen year. That was the year of the injuries. And now we're in this year. I rest my case. Let's move on. I don't think it's going to happen this week. I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think it happens in January. Because it's a defeatist mindset to just fire someone mid-season. I mean, they could do it, but I don't see it happening. But on that note, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Come and check out the Aftermath on Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. This one sucks. We thought we were flying high. Jesus Christ, we thought we were flying high. All those close wins against some good teams. Going into the break, we only lost 2 games. Come out of the break, and we've lost 5. We're supposed to get better after the fucking bye. Hasn't happened. Okay, guys. Bucs on me. Bucs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Go Bucs!